Guten Morgen, meine Damen und Herren. Heute, wir machen ein Bauernfrühstück. Was bedeutet das auf Deutsch? Auf English is farmer's breakfast, or it's made with, of course, lard, or this is bacon grease. So I'm gonna put some bacon grease in there, and it's usually made with either bacon, or today I have some ham, so I'm gonna make it with ham. So I'm gonna melt the bacon and add the ham in there. And beforehand, actually, boiled some potatoes. You don't want it too done because it's gonna cook a little more. So it's kind of like, almost like if you're gonna call potatoes al dente. So almost done, but you don't have lard, that's okay. The bacon grease or the thing will have it. Cook it with some olive oil, etc. I'm gonna let that cook in there. And then while I cut the onions, so the ingredients are onions. I put some cilantro, some green onions or chives, and I'm gonna make it a little Americanized with some cheddar, milk, and eggs. Also, machen wir weiter. So, wenn die Schinken ganz getötet oder gefrittet sind, dann können wir das raus. You want it really crispy as much as you can. Well, I like it crispy. Some people might not like it as crispy. So I'm gonna take it out. Okay, next we're gonna prepare the onions and the garlic. So let's crush some garlic into leftover. I love my garlic, so it's gonna have tons of garlic. Not for the faint of heart. So I'm gonna cook this until the garlic's kind of toasty brown. Then I'll add the onions in there. Everyone needs to get garlic pressed because this is awesome. And alright, the garlic's toasty. Now we put the onions in there. Toast it. Nice and brown, I like it. You need to add a little more oil. And it's not very healthy breakfast. But what do you expect from a meat potato type of culture? Alright, now see how nice and brown the onions are. Now we're going to put that away. Next, we're going to fry the potatoes. So what I've done with the potatoes is I've just cut them in squares. So cut the quarter of the potatoes, and you're going to put them in here. And you're going to fry them so that they're nice and crispy. Well, you need a little oil just to give enough surface areas to crisper. Fried potatoes. There we go. And why you want it a little large is because as you cook the potatoes, they'll kind of fall apart. So you want to keep them still kind of big. You could always cut them a little later, but better to keep them big so they don't turn to mashed potatoes. Alright, now I'm going to add a little oregano. If you don't have oregano, you could always use Italian seasoning. Adds a little more flavor in there. Alright, besides oregano, I take the stems of the cilantro stalk. So usually you eat the leaves and no one throws out the stems, but I like to put the stems in like chives. Makes it much delicious flavor. And again, make sure that you're digging from the bottom up so that it becomes nice and crispy instead of breaking it into mashed potatoes. So take a spatula of some sort and see how some of the sides are crispy. That's perfect. What you want. Like that. Put that in there. Alright, next I'm going to add a little butter for extra buttery flavor. And while I'm doing this, let it melt in there. I'm going to make the eggs. So the eggs is eggs. And I put heavy whipping cream because in Germany they say milk, but milk usually on a farm is a thicker consistency than milk at the store. So that's all there. And once that's ready, we're just gonna dump everything in there. Alright, next we're gonna add the rest of the chives, because you don't want chives to be overcooked. Slightly there, and then I add the rest of the ingredients back in. Mix it up, and then add the eggs. Snip. Spoons. Okay, look at that deliciousness. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the eggs in there. I'm going to do it. Mix it first. In there. Nice. There we go. Yeah. And then let that cook for a second, and then I'm going to put it back in the pan, and I'm going to put cheese on top and then broil in the oven. So first I'm going to broil to give it a little more extra crisp, and then I'm going to put the cheese on top and let it crisp more, and then it will be perfect. Let's see all these eggs. Alright. Just want the eggs not to be overcooked, a little runny side, so that when you put it in the oven, it will also be ready. So that's about right. I'm going to transfer it to the pan now. Alright, so I pulled it out and I put it into a casserole dish that's kind of thin, because I want to make sure there's enough surface to it, and then I'm going to put the oven on broil to cook just the top. Alright, look at that. I think they might be toasted on top. Maybe a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to put the cheese on top to make it a little Americanized and give you a little more dairy in there. So Tilamook cheese, cheddar. perfect browning. Now I'm gonna put some cheese in there, and then alright, voila. I put cheddar. You know, if you want it more European, you could always put mozzarella in there to give it a little thing. I didn't put any kosher salt in there. I might put that at the end when I serve it, just so that, because usually with the bacon and all that, it'll probably be a little salty already. And that is this. Eine Bauernfrühstück. Farmer's breakfast. Delicious. Ja, guten Appetit. Ciao.